Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza Horizon 2 with another rally car build. My vehicle today is the Mercedes C63 AMG Black, and I only realised today that I haven't done a Mercedes yet. I haven't driven a Mercedes around the built a Mercedes for the rally course, so we're going to give it a go. I was initially intending on using the SL65, however, that's too high a PI. I can't get all the required parts on the car and keep it in S1 class, so this C63 should do the trick. It is still going to be quite limited on parts. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that the car's going to be slow. We saw the Aston Martin, limited on parts, went very quickly. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how this one will turn out. Now, the rules for the series, the vehicles must be made four-wheel drive, which in the case of this car doesn't actually add that much PI. It's only 9 PI. It adds, of course, about 200 pounds worth of weight, but yeah, not a huge amount of PI, which is very useful for this. It means it keeps me options when it comes to upgrading the other parts, other mandatory parts. The tyres, we must have the Storm Island off-road tyres. We have to have the off-road gearbox, which will give us some hopefully sensible gear ratios for the rally course that we are running around, and the off-road suspension in the hopes that we can survive the demands of the course. In all honesty, I think this might be lower than the Ferrari that went last time. Okay, I mean, it's a relatively low Mercedes. We might have some issues with the look how low, even with the rally suspension. Look how low the front. There's something sort of, can't quite see it in the shadows there, that's hanging down. It looks like a sump, or maybe a sump guard or something. Yeah, we may have some ride height issues potentially with this car. However, it is going to be a heavy vehicle, which means we should have some decent stability when we are going around the course. Of course, we're going for the racing brakes. It's going to be all handling parts basically for this vehicle. Roll cage, I'm not really going to want. It adds too much weight, and I think the Mercedes should be okay without it. Now, weight reduction, can we get full weight reduction? Ooh, we can. Full weight reduction puts it lighter than we had the Aston, 3,200 pounds. I think we're gonna. Actually, we're gonna come back to weight reduction. The reason why we're gonna come back to weight reduction is tyres. I definitely want the bigger tyres on the car. How big can we get? It looks like pretty sizable, 325s on the rear of the Mercedes. I'm surprised we don't have bigger. Well, 325s are okay. You know, we had 355s on the Aston. It should still do the trick. In fact, we had 335s on the Ferrari, bigger tyres on that as well. Okay, 265s on the front. Again, just a size down from the Ferraris. I mean, they're still not too bad for tyre widths, but I am surprised that that's smaller than the GTOs. We are definitely wanting this. We will get the rear aero on the car. I think we're still going to be good to go for the full weight reduction, which is lovely. The front, it does. For a second I thought it didn't add anything. It adds the little, is it canards? I'm not sure if that's pronounced correctly. Little side bits on the front bumper. Sure, we will have them. Now I can safely go and take the weight out of the car, knowing there's nothing else that I desperately want. But yeah, it hasn't really made a huge. The tyres were only adding a little bit of PI. That's good, actually. We've got it down to a half decent weight, actually. Power and torque from standard. It's a good, powerful, torquey car, torquey engine. So they're always going to be pretty respectable. Can we get on any engine parts? We might. We could sneak the exhaust on, drop some more weight out of it. That looks good to me. 527, 473, 2 more PI to work with, which will go in driveline and potentially clutch. In fact, driveline hasn't changed the PI, so it will go in clutch as well. Stick the diff on. Clutch will get us a little bit more weight out of the car, and we've still got a PI to work with. That'll be a flywheel time then. And we have got, typical bloody thing, can any of these sneak on 1 PI? I suspect none of them will. Some of the ones that add weight will sneak on the odd PI here and there. Now they're not bloody going to do it, are they? Right, so if we sneak on flywheel and then we take off clutch, I'm hoping that combination of parts will get me what we want. And it bloody won't, will it? Okay, screw you. We might. I don't even know if taking off. I would want to take off the drive line. That will, but there's definitely not worth having that. Okay, now I've got to do the really annoying fiddle of getting the right combination of parts. So exhaust. If we got any other options aside from, exhaust does add a fair amount of PI. Are we going to get a better option I don't know if we can. I mean, this will also lighten the car, and then we might. I'm just trying to sneak on there. That works. Works. So slightly different, slightly rejigged. Might as well make the most of the PI for the Mercedes. Right, 532 horsepower, 477 foot-pounds of torque. Quite a heavy one, but the Aston Martin went very, very quickly with its. I think it's slightly heavier than this, and similar power figures. So, if we have the grip is the concern with the Mercedes. Sort of on paper, sure, it's slightly more impressive than the Aston Martin, but it's the grip. The grip is going to be very, very important, and we know what these cars are well known for, and that is sliding around and killing rear tyres. So, if we have sliding issues, then yeah, we could be in trouble trying to go quickly with this. If not, then it could be a pretty damn fast vehicle. Anyway, I have the 5 laps around the Forest Brawl circuit. Our current leader is the Ferrari 288 GTO with a 57.5. I'm not sure we're going to be seeing the Mercedes beating that. I think the Mercedes, if we are decent handling, we're probably going to be looking at the Aston Martin V12 or maybe even Volvo. 58.2 for the Volvo, 58.4 from the Aston Martin. That is relying on this car handling half decently. If we have a lot of sliding issues, then we won't be up that high. We will have to wait and see. Okay, that's not what I expect. We have a lot of understeer. Like a mile of understeer through turn 1. That's peculiar. Okay, that's not at all the handling that I expected from this car. There is an awful lot of understeer going on from the C63. Okay, that's curious. Never mind. It's okay down here. Ooh, I mean, the back end is behaving itself on the most part through here. Let's see how fast we dare take this second to last corner. It's pretty quick. I actually got on the banking on the inside and unsettled the car slightly. But on the whole, we got through there pretty well. Again, out of the final turn, it's not too bad. We have some half-decent traction there, much like we saw with the GTO. It is always nice across the big jump. How do we fare? Pretty nicely from the big Merc. Now, straight line speed. Are we going to have the speed that the other cars have had? Yep, we do indeed. But I've done exactly what I did with the Ferrari. Braked a fraction too late and got it airborne. Okay, it can hit 140, but I'm going to have to brake earlier for that turn 1. Yeah, it does not like turn 1, and again we see through here we've got such a large amount of understeer going on from the Merc. That pleases me. I can deal with that a lot better than I could if the car was wanting to slide around constantly. It suits my driving style, if you like, and it does deal with the bumps pretty well. We're not getting big airtime over there, although a lot of cars, I think, these days are getting big airtime over there as I take more and more speed sort of approaching that section. It is pretty good around the second to last corner. Even on that one, again, I was a little too tight to the inside there. Again, running the bank will upset the car if you like. Yeah, I don't know. It's a slightly strange one in some respects. I really wasn't expecting the mile of understeer that we apparently get through this first corner. Right, so I'm going to go on the brakes a little bit earlier. It's better, but yeah, it just wants to understeer off. Curious. We want bigger front tyres really on this car. See, again, I'm trying to take it flat down there like I did with the GTO, and it doesn't do it. It's not going to go flat through there. We really can't take that sort of speed through them corners. Well, that's not at all what I was expecting from the Black Series Mercedes. We've got to be quite careful on the opening part of the course. It does feel very quick through this part here. It does seem pretty decent. That time there I may have not quite carried the same speed, and the final turn is again pretty, if I get it slowed down at least, it's pretty good out of the final turn. We don't have it scrabbling around trying to find grip. We do still have some decent sized rear tyres after all. But yeah, you've got to really make sure you've got it slowed down. You can't chuck the car into the corners in the same way that you could with the GTO. This certainly does feel its weight. Unlike the Aston Martin, that was lovely, this does not handle anywhere near as nicely as the Vantage. Okay, we have got to have sort of a little bit of a lift on the way down into that corner, and again, we're kind of having little lifts through here. We are neater though through this section. Look at the understeer, we can't carry the speed. The GTO was sort of leaving that corner 85-90 miles an hour. This I just can't do it. If I try and carry the corner speed in here, we understeer off wide. It's some more big airtime down there. It is going quickly. I'm not quite sure where it's finding the speed. It's fast through the second to last turn again, breaking it down for the final corner. Yeah, didn't understeer off, and we can get a good run, can get a good acceleration off of the turn. This is going to be a pretty quick lap from the Mercedes if we could get a nice landing, which we do. We had a lovely landing from the big Merc, and we're going to cross the line. It's a 58.3 from the C63. Can we go any quicker than that? I'm not sure we can, in all honesty. That was pretty much pushing the car as much as I dare through parts of the track. That's about the first time I've got this car sliding, and that was me being a real bloody moron on the throttle. Yeah, we've really got to make sure we get it slowed down through there, otherwise it just wants to pull wide. I think I may have fired a little bit too far to the right. No, we are okay. Got a good run through there. Now we carry mega speed down here. These jumps are so nasty on some of the cars. Okay, off towards this second to last turn. Can we get the mega speed through there? We are quick again through that, and I'll really slow it down for this final turn. And driving for the finish. Yeah, I like yeah, much like the GTR, I love the traction we get out of that turn. We are perhaps going a little quicker. This is going to be close. How fast is the C63 going to go? It is a 57.931 for the Mercedes. Bloody hell, that is another very, very quick car. That's an incredibly fast time for the... Well, we lost the rear wing at that. Again, we've lost the rear wing on a car. I don't know where. It puts it into third place for the Mercedes. I'm really surprised it's that. With the amount of understeer you get with this car, I'm really surprised it goes that quickly, in all honesty. Sort of turn 3, turn 4 area is horrible in this car. You really can't feel like you can attack it. Turn 1 isn't particularly fantastic either. On that fast lap there, I was understeering wide off towards the tree line. It is an understeery car. I can deal with an understeery car, but it still didn't feel as quick through some of the turns as you're perhaps expecting for a car doing a 57.9 around this course. Very, very fast car. A little bit difficult to drive. Does deal with the bumps very well though. I will say that much about it. Had no issues with them. Very fast through the second to last corner as well. Yeah, it's a quick car. I'm surprised to see the C63 do a 57.9, but there we go. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.